Okay, in 1-9, we've talked about adding, subtracting, multiplying, positive and negative numbers, integers, rational numbers, and we're finally on to divide. And I'm just going to tell you, just like it was with the other properties or the other operations, our operation for dividing says that we can go ahead and we can use the same process as we did before. So let's start with example 1. A negative times a positive, different signs, means I am going to have a negative answer. Now we need to remember, what do we do when we divide fractions? First of all, this is it's a mixed number. We need to turn it into an improper fraction. So we will actually have a negative 18 over 5, and that is divided by 6 over 1. But let's review, how do we divide when we have fractions? We have to multiply or change it to multiplication, and we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So this is negative 18 over 5. We keep the first number, we change to multiplication, and the reciprocal of 6 over 1. And remember, every number can be written, every whole number, every integer can be written as a fraction by placing it over 1. The reciprocal is 1 over 6. And then we just multiply straight across. So we have negative 18 times 1 is a negative 18. 5 times 6 is 30. We divide both of those by 3 to simplify. And we are going to get 18 divided by 3 is 6. And 30 divided by 3 is 10. It looks like we can simplify some more. So we can divide them both by 2. And we get a negative 3/5. So as far as looking to determine if it's positive or negative, that all depends on same signs, positive. Different signs, negative. Let's look at the try it here. This is where we also need to change that mixed number to an improper fraction. So as we look at 4 times 8, we would get 32, and 5 would be 37 over 8, and that would be negative, divided by 4 over 1. But remember, when we're dividing fractions, we can change all of them to multiplication by keeping the first number, changing division to multiplication, and the reciprocal of 4 over 1 is 1 over 4. And so we would have a negative 37 over a positive 32. Now that's an improper fraction. We could write that as negative 1. 32 goes into 37 one time. You have 5/32 left over. So again, the processes are the same. We just need to be very careful. Same sign means it's positive. Different signs means the answer will be negative. So what happens if we look at example 2 and we have what we call a complex fraction? Well, just think of a fraction as division. So we can just rewrite this as positive 3 2/3 divided by negative 2/3. And now we can change our mixed numbers to improper fractions and then change division to multiplication. So we have 11/3 divided by negative 2/3. Now if we're going to change this to multiplication, we're going to keep the 11/3, change divide to multiply, and the reciprocal would be 3 over negative 2. When we multiply straight across, we get a 33 over negative 6. We could divide both of those by 3 and get 11 over a negative 2. That is improper. So for us to change that to a mixed number, how many times does 2 go into 11? That'd be 5 times, and our answer is negative here, with a half left over. So again, opposite signs, a negative times a positive is going to give you a negative answer. Let's just talk about the try it and the signs on the try it. And I also want to make sure that we know how to change some of these decimals to fractions. So the first one, I'm just going to help you rewrite these. The first one here on letter A is going to be a negative 1 1/3 divided by a negative 1 6/10 is the way we could write that fraction. And we know a negative divided by a negative is going to give us a positive answer. So now you figure out what that positive answer is. Let's look at part B. We have a negative 2/3 divided by a negative 1/4. Same signs, so a positive answer, nothing to change there. They're pretty fractions. The next one is the same. We've got a negative and a negative, so we know we will have a positive answer. And again, those are nice, pretty numbers. And last but not least, a negative and a negative. So this will also be a positive answer. But how do we write the first one as a fraction? It would be negative 1/2 divided by negative 3/13. So hopefully that helps you set those up and try it.